Okay, so first of all, let me say this. Here's my story. It's 100% true, and I swear to you on everything I love, this is not some fabricated sales bullshit. It's my story, and I'm going to tell it to you just like it happened, because I want to show you exactly what I did to get back on my feet. So just over 10 years ago, life sucked. The mortgage market crashed. I went from making 108,000 in 6 months to literally goose egg zero in the next 6 months. And any of you out there who've been in the mortgage industry, or if you were working as a mortgage broker at that time, I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it gets worse, way worse. It's kind of like that old saying, kick a man when he's down, right? Because that's exactly what it felt like at this time. I'd already depleted the little bit of savings I had just trying to make it through this disastrous spell of bad luck. And then, like I said, shit got even worse. So I walk into work one day, and I shit you not, we're greeted by two security guards telling us all we've got 15 minutes to clear out our desks. Like, what the fuck? Long story short, the mortgage firm I was working for went under just like that freaking quick. So it's like 6 months earlier, I'm making 18,000 a month on top of the world. Life is great. Then I'm making about $18 a month. Life sucks. And then they put that big fat ass cherry on the sundae, close shop, and can us all. And that's not even the real cherry on top of this shit-filled sundae. I mean, I had a nice run for a few years where, life was good, money was coming in, we were comfortable. So, of course, like every other idiot salesperson, I splurged a little bit. I mean, I bought a brand new, I'm talking 0 miles on the dashboard, Monte Carlo SS. And that thing was my baby. I put all kinds of money into it, pimping it out, if you will. And I mean, I even stored that thing for winters. I had also recently bought a brand new Lincoln Navigator, and this thing was sweet. I love that freaking truck. Well, actually, my wife loved it more, but I guess when you got two car payments that are more than most people's mortgage payment and you got zero income coming in, love don't mean a damn thing. We ended up getting rid of not one, but both of my new rides, which I worked so hard to be able to get. And honestly, looking back on that day, or actually both days, the day that we lost to Monte Carlo after we'd already lost to Navi, that actually was my lowest point. That's probably the closest I'd come to actually putting a gun in my mouth and saying lights out. And I mean, it sounds a little bit of funny and ridiculous, but if any of you have truly been in a situation where you lose just about everything you work so hard to get, it can be very depressing. And I'd be lying my ass off if I said I didn't shed more than a few tears during this time. Now, I don't want to lead you into the great abyss or anything like that, so trust me, it's only the beginning of this story that's depressing. And if anything, I hope it offers you some hope to know that you can pull yourself out of a slump, even a big slump like this one. Did I mention we got our house foreclosed on? Well, we did, but anyway, the point is when the chips are down, if you're focused and you dig deep enough, you can always find a way and find it within yourself to get your life back on track again. And I am actually going to prove that to you here today in the next couple minutes. Okay, so I told you I shed a few tears, right? Well, guess what? Tears don't pay the bills unless you're filling swimming pools, which I probably shed enough tears to fill a few of those at that time. But eventually, what I did was some serious soul searching and some serious brainstorming. And I kept thinking back to when I was a kid, and I remembered how I always wanted to own my own business, even when I was a young buck. I mean, I was always the kid that would want to have a lemonade stand, or we'd be building Legos and I'd want to sell what I made. I mean, I always had that entrepreneurial spirit. And I guess thinking back, I mean, what I really, really wanted to do, I guess my dream was always, even from way back then, was always to kind of do my own thing in one way or another, run my own show. So that's kind of the direction I started going. Like, what can I do? What am I good at? What can I do to make my own way? I'm tired of relying on other people and getting burned, um, and just shit not working out. So I wanted to find a way to make my own way and do it on my own. And so I was determined to find it. And after sitting and just thinking and jotting down ideas and whatever else, I actually did start to feel a lot better about the future because I knew I did have some good things going on and some good qualities about me. For instance, I know I'm not lazy. I'm definitely a go-getter. I've always been a hard worker and I've always believed in myself, and I've always pretty much believed that things would always work out somehow, some way by the grace of God. I also knew that I was good at sales, and if you really think about it, if you can sell, you will always be able to make a living somehow. And if you're good at it, you'll be able to make a very good living, kind of like I did in the mortgage industry before it crashed. But the bottom line is that I came to the realization that whether it be mortgages, insurance, cars, or any type of product or service, sales is sales. And since it was something that I was fortunate enough to learn and actually pretty damn good at, I knew I was going to be okay once I figured out what it is I was going to sell and how I was going to go about it. So that was my next step, coming up with a plan to build a business around direct sales and also dealing with the realization that it had to be a business I could start with like zero money. Now, some people might find that tough or say it's impossible to start a business with no capital, but I had no choice. Therefore, I was determined to make it happen. Obviously, anything I chose to do was going to require some money. But being that my credit took a shit, I really had no options for loans or grants at the time. So I was just going to have to make a go of it and keep kind of stacking money as I go. And that was my mindset. Now, before mortgages, I briefly worked for a company that sold tooling and industrial supplies to machine shops and welders. So I had some limited knowledge of the industry, which was actually enough for me. Plus, thinking about it was getting me excited and getting my juices flowing. So right then and there, I knew I figured out what I was going to do. I was going to open my own manufacturing wholesale company. That company is Midwest Industrial Supply, Inc. Of course, it wasn't easy. In fact, nothing about it was easy. You got to remember, not only am I starting this thing out from scratch with no loans, no grants, or really any capital to speak of, but I'd also never owned or ran a business. So if you really think about it, I had a lot of obstacles to overcome to make the dream a reality. So here I am in my basement with a bar stool for a desk chair, starting out my own company with no customers, no money, and no vendors to source supplies from. A little bit of an overwhelming thought, hey? Damn right it was overwhelming. Wouldn't you be overwhelmed? But guess what? I took the bull by the horns, took the monkey by the balls, and made it happen. Now, I made tons of mistakes along the way, but I learned from every one of them, and I'm proud to say that 10 years later, Midwest Industrial Supply Inc. is still standing. Now, we did go through some tough and trying times, but right now, we're stronger than ever, and we're doing more than just standing. We're one of the premier nationwide tooling wholesalers in the country. We have 2 sales offices and 4 successful online stores. And even though it took years to develop these relationships with various vendors, we now offer over 400,000 products in just about every major brand name you can think of. And on that note, it's about time I answer the big question that's on your mind right now. What's in it for me, and how do I figure into this equation? As I'm sure that's exactly what you're wondering right about now. So here's the deal. We have one of the top rated direct sales affiliate platforms in the country. We provide all the sales and product training, and our sales affiliates make 40 to 60% commissions, plus bonuses, plus incentives. In fact, over 80% of our DS affiliates crack a 6-figure income by their second to third year as a manufacturing wholesale affiliate. So for you, this is a legit business opportunity with a reputable company where you can work from home and make a 6-figure income within a couple few years. As a direct sales affiliate, you're basically running your own manufacturing wholesaler company with our support, and you get to use our industry reputation to get you rolling. You don't have to go through half the growing pains I went through. You don't have to worry about stocking or shipping any products. We handle it all. You don't have to worry about sourcing products and building relationships with vendors because you have instant access to our entire product line. Heck, you don't even have to worry about billing or collections. We handle it all. All the legwork is done for you. So here's the bottom line. If you've been looking for the right opportunity, This is it. As long as you're willing to put in the work and the effort that it takes to learn the business, you can literally be uber successful doing this. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but then again, anything that's worth anything is never easy. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it, right? So if you know you got what it takes and you're ready to grab your piece of the American dream, click that big button that says Learn More. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.